Some people have it easy. They date and fall in love all the time, while for others, relationships seem to be the final frontier. I guess I'm one of those who can achieve just about anything. But when it comes to love, my professional experience just doesn't apply. I feel like there's nothing anyone could contribute to me other than simply presence. But independence is just not what relationships are for. Two halves, right? As Aristotle said, man is by nature a social animal. Humans evolved to exist in social groups, which means that at some point in history, people gathered to live together because each one could do something the others couldn't. And then there was my ancestor who lived away from this group simply because they could do it all and more. I'm somebody everyone is looking for, just not in the long term. Think of me like a general practitioner. You only come to me when push comes to shove. They say there's plenty of fish in the sea. Am I in the desert? My friend Daphne, a fellow 25-year-old sound designer, is the kind of person who doesn't enjoy being single for too long. She's exactly as romantic as she is eccentric, and she lives in this brightly lit one-bedroom flat downtown. But her apartment aside, what makes me envious is her ability to start dating anyone at will. Whenever she decides to go on a date with someone, it's like she manifests them out of thin air, and that's something I could never achieve myself. But despite my description of her, Daphne says she still feels anxious making new friends and doubts herself, just like any other normal human being. Yet, she manages to take control of the situation using various techniques she learned over the years. I have so much to learn from her.
I went to the seaside. I haven't done this for years. I thought I would be afraid of the dark, of the bugs, of the snakes, of nature, but my boyfriend, he built a shower and then we actually had hot water.
And you've been together for how long with your boyfriend?
We met last year in August and it was a very breaking point for me. I learned so much about myself from the interaction with this human because he challenges me in a very interesting way. And at the same time, with this challenge, I know that I can completely crash out in front of him and that would be okay. When I was between 18 and 20, I didn't really want a relationship. I've always had someone by my side, but then I started to want more from people. And now I'm 25. I think since last year I've kind of thought more deeply about those stuff.
Yeah. So compared to your previous relationships, how do you think you're doing in this one?
I've never experienced anything like this before.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way. Because I feel the presence of someone who is interested in what is happening with me, not just, if I'm going to be next to him, like a dress hanger, like a coat hanger. Because that's what I felt like in my previous relationships. I just want to feel respected and I want to feel wanted. Because I don't want empty words, like empty compliments, because I've had that in a relationship. I've had someone who was by my side and was always complimenting me how I was out of this world, nothing could compare to me, and then that person didn't stand to his words.
Do you think it's better to be different from your significant other, or to be more similar to each other in interests? Which one is healthy? Because I think that the more different you are, the better.
I believe people are different, and I don't think your significant other should be a copy paste of you. I don't imagine myself with his friends all the time, and he can't be with my friends all the time. He likes my friends, he likes you, but I think of my friends as my personal boundary, my personal space, and my personal time.
Do you think you would be the way you are right now if it weren't?
For him?
No, for your previous relationships. If you hadn't gone through your previous relationships, do you think you would be the way you are right now? Or you would be adequate enough to go through these relationships right now?
No.
Either way.
I'm a firm believer. Every past experience, let's categorize it as bad experience that you've had, builds you to the exact form of you are right now. Because I've had a very few like long-term relationships, but I know because of them what I definitely do not want in my life. And I think you start to know what you want. But if it wasn't for them, maybe I don't know if I would be able to appreciate it, actually. Because some people take a lot of things for granted, and I try not to.
What's your ideal breakup? How would you end things, ideally?
Ideally, I wouldn't. But I believe people grow apart, people change. Sometimes you realize further in time that this is just not your person. I think it would be nice to be friendly.
Yeah, but don't you think it's a little disappointing to break up with someone who wants to break up with you, knowing that they might feel the same way you do, and they might have felt even for far longer than you have felt the
I
same
don't
way.
think I've
Don't you think it's a
ever...
little disappointing? It's kind of a pointless relationship.
I don't know if they have felt that way, because I believe they want to save it, they just don't know how. They understand it a little bit later, what has actually happened.
Do you ever miss your exes?
No, I don't. Because I've tried so much that by the time this breakup is a fact, I don't miss them. I don't reminisce about the past. I don't romanticize my past. It's just something that has happened to me, and it's okay. It's really okay. It has made me the person I am today, and I don't regret them, but I don't really miss them, because I actually try to remind myself that something better will come, and something better always comes.
Yeah, that's a nice way to look on things, because I, following the only relationship I've ever had, which I would hardly call it a relationship, I found myself missing that person a couple of times, because it's kind of the only thing like that has ever happened to me. And I miss the situation more than I do the person.
I think you miss the feeling.
Yeah, I miss the feeling of the relationship,
But this is not the person.
But not the person, definitely not.
But I think in this exact time, if you feel that way, you should just very, very quickly remind yourself it will come, and it will come better. And
do you really believe that?
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to put my mind there. I don't think I'm a pessimist, but I hate knowing what's to come.
You hate knowing.
Yeah, I don't want to know. Because then where's the fun in getting surprised?
To hope for happy future is not equal to knowing a happy future.
Yeah, but that's the thing about hope. It's not a good feeling.
What?
I love, my favorite myth from the Greek mythology is about the Pandora box, and how on the bottom of the Pandora box there was hope.
Yeah.
Hope is not a good feeling. I hate hope.
No, I think when you are happy, you don't really hope. When you are happy, you don't think, oh, I'm happy, I wish I could be happier. Because this is stupid. When you're happy, you enjoy being happy. And you only wish and you only hope when you are in a very, very bad place. Hope is a good thing. And being in the state of waiting is not necessarily a bad feeling. I know because I felt frustrated. I felt as if some life is happening so slow. I've been alone and I have felt really, really lonely, and I've hoped to meet someone new. But the point is, the tricky part is to never stop believing it would come, because I think you stop believing at some point and you get tired of hoping and of waiting.
Yeah, I do.
Which is crucial. When I'm in this situation, I call my friends, I connect a little bit more with my family. Let's take your situation with you're moving away. There was several points in the past, I can say 2 years, which you've been very frustrated and you don't know exactly what you need to change. So there comes the idea, why don't you move abroad? And you say, oh yeah, I wish I could, but it's scary, I don't want to do it alone, I can't invest in this, I have other things, and these are just excuses for you to not do.
Do you ever get lonely?
In general?
In general.
Yeah, sometimes. But when I get lonely, it's because I miss my family. And it's just not the same, to call and say what's going on. Sometimes I wish I could just jump back in time and kind of reset my life. That's what I think about when I'm lonely.
Do you think dating is hard? Do you find it hard to be in a relationship?
I think it takes time, and maybe I can make another parallel to friendship, because they're different, but it's the same thing. You meet someone who is not your blood relative, and you want to keep this person in your life for a good friendship. Two of the parties need to invest as equal. And I think a good relationship is based on a friendship first. I think it gets harder when you take the other for granted, or maybe when you feel you are taken for granted. That's when it gets hard.
So do you imagine it's like a steady incline, like in a graph, a steady incline? You start in the bottom, and then each and every moment needs to be higher and higher than the previous, or it's like a sine, and it starts up, then it goes a little bit down, and then it goes up.
I think it's the up and down in every aspect of your life.
I've been kind of confused and very disappointed about where I am in life, and this whole dating thing, it's a huge issue for me, you know.
I know.
Yeah,
But-
you've been through some crisis with me as well.
Yeah, and as I've said before, I really, really believe that the moment you get out of here, out of this environment, you're going to step on your feet, you're going to gain the control of your life, and I believe everything will just become easier for you, but not because you've changed the place, but because you've changed your mindset, and your mindset is very, very controlled by where you are at.
Yeah, but do you think it's influenced by your actions, your decisions, or is it written in the stars whether you get a boyfriend or not?
I think it's both, because for me, I've always knew I cannot really be alone. And it's hard for me to be alone for a long period of time. But I really want someone significant. I want someone who I can depend on. I want you. when I date to marry. It's just very disappointing when you find out months later that this person is not who you thought he was. But um, I've grown to realize that this is not bad because you learn something about yourself and you learn patience and you learn to trust in yourself and in your, call it fate, call it universe.
How do you meet people? Because I have trouble meeting people, and it's been so hard for me to start this process of building a relationship. And you're a lot more open than I am. You're very well adjusted, you know.
Have you seen my social circle?
Exactly what I mean. Have you seen mine?
Oh my god.
It's not that I don't want to talk to people, it's just that I don't have anything to say.
I don't know, if you go out and people come to you, don't dismiss them right away. Because you never know. Uh, when I'm scared to do something, when I'm nervous about something, I just imagine I'm an actress and this is the role I've been given and I have to act this role right now. This is the role I've been given to be confident, to be friendly, to be open. Because when you say that you are in a role, you protect yourself. Because the thing that has just happened did not happen to you. It happened to just the role you have been playing. You meet someone and you know if this person is worth your time or not.
Do you think? Do you know it first?
Yeah.
Or that comes up like in time when you, as you build your relationship or your relations, whatever they are.
That's possible. It's possible to come with time. But I think most of the time you have this intuition about it. Because sometimes people are so predictable. Because sometimes we may just not see them in this light from our perception. But you just know. And you know if you want to invest your time and if you like that first date, if you like that first impression of this person, you automatically know if this is a relationship or just fun. But in every person who you meet, there is a different version of yourself that lives in their
In their eyes.
In their eyes,
Yeah.
And I think that's cute in a way.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's 100 versions of you currently living right now. You are who you are in your state of mind. You are someone else in mine. In every other friend that you have. And I think that's actually a really nice thing. Because you are way much more diverse than you think of yourself. My advice to you is to don't get discouraged. Because one day I'm sure, you won't even realize, but it will just snap at you. You will be at your happy place, which has turned into your reality. And you will realize that this is everything you've ever wanted. But don't lose this hope. I know you have the tendency to sometimes feel down. Everyone feels down sometimes. But please, if you feel that way, just always say to yourself that tomorrow is coming. And tomorrow it will be better. And it's a new day. This is what I say to myself sometimes. Tomorrow always comes.
Yeah. And you never know what it will bring.
And if the day turns out to be bad, you go to bed, you say, okay, tomorrow is coming and it's going to be better.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too.
I love you.
I love you.
Maybe I still don't know what love is, because everyone has their own definition of it. For some, it may be a connection beyond the physical. For others, finding the other half to complete the whole. I'm still looking for my own explanation. And until I find it, I'll be enjoying my own company.